High Counselor Threndar of the Crystalline Hegemony stood before the vast tactical display in the war room of Nexus Station, watching as another star system fell to the Void Swarm. The holographic galaxy before him bled red and purple-red for the territories consumed by the insectoid swarm, purple for the regions controlled by his own silicon-based civilization. Between them, scattered pockets of green indicated the holdings of the Plasma Federation, their energy-based allies in this seemingly endless conflict. For 347 standard years, the war had raged across the galaxy. Entire civilizations had been consumed, billions of lives lost, whole star systems rendered uninhabitable. The Crystalline Hegemony's pristine geometric cities had been reduced to rubble and regrown dozens of times. The Void Swarm's hive world sprawled across thousands of planets, their bioships reproducing faster than they could be destroyed. The Plasma Federation's living stars burned with the fury of a desperate species watching their energy reserves slowly dwindle. "Sir," Lieutenant Kexaval approached, his crystalline form refracting the light into prismatic patterns. "Our long-range sensors have detected a new fleet entering the Proxima sector. Unknown configuration." Threndar's faceted head turned toward his aide. In 3 centuries of war, they had catalogued every ship design, every weapon system, every tactical formation employed by either side. Unknown fleets were impossibly rare. "Display the readings," he commanded. The tactical screen zoomed to show a small group of vessels, unlike anything in their databases. The ships were crewed by galactic standards, metallic hulls, with primitive fusion drives, barely faster than light speed capable. They moved with none of the elegant precision of crystalline formations or the organic fluidity of swarm bioships. If anything, they seemed clumsy. "Analysis suggests a species classification we haven't encountered," Kexal reported. "Carbon-based bipedal, from a system they call Sol. They identify themselves as humans." Threndar's optical sensors focused on the primitive fleet, 12 ships total, barely larger than patrol vessels. After centuries of warfare involving fleets numbering in the millions, this tiny group seemed almost pitiful. "Have they made contact?" "Yes, sir. They've transmitted the same message to all 3 major powers simultaneously. They're requesting a ceasefire." The silence in the war room was so complete that the quantum hum of the station's processors seemed deafening. Finally, Threndar emitted the crystalline equivalent of bitter laughter. "A ceasefire? These primitive newcomers want us to stop a war that has consumed the galaxy for over 3 centuries. He gestured at the tactical display. "Do they have any idea what forces are involved here? The Void Swarm has 17 billion combat vessels. We ourselves command 8 billion. The Plasma Federation maintains 6 billion energy-based fighters. And they think 12 metal containers can somehow convince us to stop?" But General Vextor, his military advisor, was studying the sensor readings with unusual intensity. "Sir, there's something strange about their approach vector. They're not heading for any strategic targets. They're positioning themselves at the convergence point." Threndar's attention sharpened. The convergence point was a region of space where the gravitational fields of 3 massive black holes created a complex web of space-time distortion. It was strategically worthless. No ships could operate effectively there due to the chaotic gravitational forces. What possible purpose could that serve? He wondered aloud. The answer came 3 days later, when the humans made their second transmission. This time, they didn't contact just the military commands. They somehow hijacked every communication network in the galaxy simultaneously. The message was simple: "People of the galaxy, we know you're tired of fighting. We've been watching your war for the last 50 years, and we think we have a solution. Please observe." What happened next would be discussed in galactic history classes for millennia to come. The human ships moved to precise positions around the convergence point, then did something that defied all tactical logic. They began broadcasting. Not military communications or strategic data, but what their databases eventually identified as entertainment media. Music, stories, games, art, comedy shows. The humans flooded every available frequency with an endless stream of what they called culture. At first, the three warring civilizations paid little attention, but the human broadcasts were unlike anything they had ever encountered. The crystalline hegemony, with their logical, mathematical society, found themselves fascinated by human music theory and the emotional mathematics of harmony. The Void Swarm's hive mind was captivated by human stories of individual heroism and personal growth. The Plasma Federation discovered human games that challenged their energy-based consciousness in entirely new ways. Sir Kexaval reported after a week of human broadcasting, fleet productivity has decreased by 15%. Our crews are. They're listening to something called jazz instead of maintaining patrol schedules. Similar reports came from across the galaxy. Swarm bioships began deviating from attack patterns to gather around human relay stations. Plasma Federation energy beings started incorporating human storytelling techniques into their communication matrices. But the humans weren't finished. Phase 2 of their plan involved something they called collaborative content creation. They invited all three civilizations to contribute to their broadcasts. Crystalline composers began creating mathematical symphonies with human musicians. Swarm artists shared their biological sculptures through human virtual reality systems. Plasma poets collaborated on epic narratives that spanned energy states impossible for physical beings to comprehend. Within a month, something unprecedented happened. Soldiers from all three sides began communicating directly with each other through human platforms, not as enemies, but as creators sharing ideas. "They're ending the war," General Vextor said quietly, staring at reports of Swarm and Federation ships working together on a massive collaborative art installation. Not through superior firepower or tactical brilliance, but through. Threndar watched the tactical display transform before his eyes. Red and purple territories weren't changing hands through conquest anymore. They were becoming shared creative spaces. The humans had weaponized the one thing none of the warring civilizations had considered, the fundamental desire of all intelligent life to create, share, and connect with others. "How did they know?" he asked. The answer came in a final human transmission, delivered by what appeared to be their leader, a small female with graying hair and kind eyes. "We've been through this ourselves," she said simply. "Thousands of years of war on our own planet. We learned that the strongest force in the universe isn't destruction. It's the need to tell stories, make music, and share laughter. You can't fight when you're too busy creating together." As Threndar watched the last of the Swarm's attack fleets transform into mobile art galleries, he realized that in all their centuries of military planning, they had overlooked the most powerful weapon of all, the irresistible urge to stop fighting and start creating when someone shows you something beautiful. The Galactic War ended not with a bang, but with a song.